Hello, beautiful people, to the newcomers, and hey, what's up, bitches, to the people that already been in my channel. This week, we are gonna do a St. Patrick's Day look. Don't ask about the mustache. I got a natural one, but I decided to give it a little touch this time. For this look, I'm gonna be using the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, which is a bunch of greens and beautiful and gorgeous. And I'm also gonna be using a few colors of the Huda Beauty palette. Excuse my mustache. It doesn't want to behave. By the way, I got this mustache at Target for like $5. Oh no, I got it for $3, and the little bow was $5. Just saying, if y'all interested. So yeah, this is what we're gonna create, and it's a little golden green with these beautiful lashes that I loved. They're the Fabulous lashes from Cara Beauty. Purty. And while I do this video, I'm gonna be talking about the craziest thing that's ever happened to me, and that is the time that this couple knocked on my door because she thought I was having an affair with their husband. Which I wasn't. I don't do that. I don't play that. I'm too crazy. Like, I'm too jealous. But stay tuned. Comment, like, share, subscribe. As always, let me know what you think. If you have crazy stories, share. It's always fun. I will sound a little angry, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so let's get started. We're gonna start with a 231 MAC brush in the color Ripe from the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, okay? What we're gonna do is create a little semicircle right here, and it's gonna be our outline. That's it, and just like a thin line, okay? Now with the 239S MAC brush, which is a small shader brush, we're just gonna do a little blending, just really quickly. That's it. And I'm using a Sephora Smudge brush, which is almost the same as the MAC brush I used first, which is just a small kind of hard brush, you see? And for that, we're gonna use the color Royal, okay? And just on top of the line. So story time. Pencil brush, same Royal color, okay? So this is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. So I used to work a night shift job, right? 221, a blend of Lethal and Troop from the same palette, which is like an olive, any lighter olive. I did it on the same brush. I was asleep, right? I used to work night shift, and I was just, you know, minding my own business, sleeping. And it was like 4 p.m. I had to work that day. So, you know, I went into work at 6 p.m. most of the time, 6:30. So I'm home alone, and somebody knocks on the door. Now, granted, nobody visits me, right? Because my boyfriend wasn't in town at the time, and my roommate was at work. So nobody should be at my door right now. Absolutely nobody. So I'm like super groggy and just kind of lost, because I'm like, who the fuck can this be? And besides, why are you waking me up? Like, seriously, there's one thing you can do to me, piss me the fuck off, is wake me up, you know? Except now because I have a child and that just happens. But as an adult, the worst thing you can do is wake me up. That'll piss me off like crazy. As my husband. So anyways, I open the door, and there standing in my door is the security guard from my job. Now, this person should not know where I live, okay? Like, this person should not know where I live. This person should not have any personal information about me. Now, clean it up a little bit under the orange, okay? So, I'm like more lost now than I was at the beginning. And I'm like, what the fuck? At that moment, I notice he looks back. So, I'm like, somebody else is with him, right? And I look to my right, and there's this lady, this just young girl, standing there with her arms crossed. And now she just looks embarrassed. It just clicks what's happening. And I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing at my door right now? This is my petite crease brush from Zoeva, and I'm gonna use Black Truffle from the Huda Beauty palette, and it's black, okay? And it like clicks what's going on, and I'm like, get the fuck out. Like, y'all not at my door because your wife, that's your wife, right? And she just starts looking at me all apologetic and just like, I'm sorry, you're the wrong person. I'm sorry, you're the wrong person. And he's like, see, I told you. He looks embarrassed as shit, right? He looks embarrassed as fuck. And she's just like, my bad, my bad. And it like really connected to me what was going on. This couple like rode around looking for my apartment so she could catch him with the bitches she cheating with. Now you might ask yourself, how did you get involved, right? I use the same royal color now with the blending brush, okay? Let's backtrack to like a week ago. And that's where it all starts making sense to me once I was kind of like waking up. Because I'm like, what the fuck y'all doing in my door? They apologized and left. Like, that was quick, and I was just lost. When I closed the door, my ass went back to sleep because that's just who I am. And it clicked that they were looking for his mistress, right? Well, 2 weeks before that, and I'm backtracking now, I got a phone call from a number that I didn't know. Small synthetic brush, and we're gonna use Bring the Heat Color Pop Glitter, okay? This woman called my phone, and I usually don't answer phone calls that I don't know, but I don't know why I did it this time. I really don't know why. And I kick myself over the, every time that I remember the story, because I'm like, why the fuck did you even open the door? Like, you set yourself up. This lady called my phone, and the first thing they asked was like, who's this? And I knew, because I'm a woman, okay? I'm a woman, and I know women shit. Like, I know what we do. And I was like, this is Carla, who's this? And she just clicked, and I was like, get the fuck out. Some motherfucker got caught cheating with my goddamn phone number in their phone, which, believe me, I don't talk to guys like that, but that doesn't mean I don't have friends, And I'm like, and some crazy fucking bitch, like, just called me for that. And I was pissed, but I was like, I'm gonna let it go. It can't go farther than that, because who the fuck is crazy enough? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, whatever. I let it go. So fast forward to 2 weeks later, and this incident happens. So I'm like concerned, because this lady just got my phone number, my address. I lived in a fucking apartment. This motherfuckers rode around looking for my home, knocked on my home to prove a point. So now we're gonna do our bottom. So same colors, the green, the royal green and the olive greens, okay? The problem is that I worked at a place where in the employee directory, you can find this information. Now, this girl doesn't work there. He works there. And I know he didn't give her my info, because obviously I wasn't fucking him. And if you're watching this, your wife is the only one that want to do you. I'm just saying. Just saying. So that means that this lady called a friend that worked there, because I worked at it was a hospital. I worked at a hospital, so it was huge. A friend to look up my info on the employee directory, found my address and my phone number, and called me. I'm going to use a slanted brush, like a slanted brow brush, and I'm going to put a little bit of the MAC Fix Plus on it with the orange eyeshadow that I used at the beginning for eyeliner, okay? So that means that they did that, They went looking for my info, which got passed down to a person that didn't even work there. And then they decided to go looking for me to my house. I'm going to use the color 24K with the Fender Blender in my shirt area right here. I mean, obviously I'm making assumptions about this because I couldn't prove any of it. I did call HR, because if you're familiar with hospital settings, it's called HIPAA. When you give out personal information, it is illegal. So I was pissed. I called HR and I was like, is there any way that you can see if anybody even got in my chart and look at that, my personal information, and then gave it out? And they just couldn't, because she was smart and didn't get called. But I was mad because, like, I was with my husband at the time, that was my boyfriend. And I obviously called him. As soon as this happened, I called him and I was like, yo, this just happened to me. Like, I'm using the Fenty Beauty eyeliner, which I just bought in. Oh my God, you guys, oh my God. And I called him, and he's the first person I told about it, because obviously I'm not going to get in no issues with my boyfriend over some stupid situation that I was not involved in, obviously. And I played no parts in. But I was so mad because I'm like, y'all don't know. Like, when you do things like that, okay, like, I know you want to prove a point and you want to, like, you want your husband to tell you in front of the girl that they're not together or whatever. And you want to prove that, you're the wife and he loves you and he's embarrassing the other girl and blah, blah, blah. But you want to know something? From girl to girl, you're only embarrassing yourself. Like, this young lady was beautiful. She was a just beautiful young girl. And like, I was more upset at the fact that I wasn't awake enough, because I honestly wanted to say one or two things to her about doing shit like that. Like, you're gonna knock on the wrong person's fucking door at some point. Didn't have anything to do with them, and I was like, fine, whatever, but right? Like, I was just like, whatever, it ain't my problem. They can just go home and hash it out. I didn't care, obviously. But if that really would have been his mistress home, imagine her going off on you, like, or beating your ass, like beating your ass for fucking knocking on her door. What if, you don't know what kind of relationships people have, and you just totally knocked on the wrong person's door? And then what if, like, I was with somebody that's jealous or whatever. My husband is not the jealous type. Like, he was like, when I called him and told him what was going on, he was like, well, Carla, that ain't your business. Like, they're just being dumb and dramatic, and don't worry about it, babe. Like, that's really what he said. And I was like, well, thank you. Thank you for being understanding, and thank you for not making me have to explain. You know what I'm saying? Myself. because I'm already upset at what's going on, and then knowing that you know me this well, I really appreciate it, right? But it just sucks because people do shit like this, and then it's like, again, you're gonna knock on the wrong bitch's door and you're gonna get your ass beat, you're gonna get hurt, or you're just gonna get embarrassed. You know what I mean? Like, I know you think you're big and bad because your husband's going around embarrassing himself and showing that, you know, I care for you, so I'm gonna go. You wanna know why this motherfucker knocked on my door? I can bet that this is why he did it, because he knew she had the wrong fucking door. So this is me telling y'all ladies, like, if your dude is cheating, you don't need to knock on the other girl's door. You know he's cheating, baby girl. Trust that instinct and let go of that no good motherfucker. And let other people live. I was mad. Like, if HR would have been able to do something about it and fired his dumbass and the fucking stupid bitch that gave him my info, and I'm sorry if I'm cussing more than often, but I was so angry because that was my privacy. That's my home. I was asleep. What if I opened the door and that girl was like, I don't know, armed with something, and my stupid ass just opened the door thinking it was like the delivery guy. I swear, as I was walking to the door, I was like, did I order something out of Amazon? Eyelashes time. Not gonna lie, I bought this one's at TJ Maxx for $3.99. What's up? Eyelashes. So I did see him again because obviously we worked together, and he was obviously super apologetic about it. But I was like, no, bro, like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to speak to you. Like, I felt violated. I felt like my privacy was put out there. And one thing is to be like, you know, making sure you got the right information. And another one to be like, I'm just going to assume and walk up to your door. Like, you don't do that. You don't do that to people. And I just really was like, no, bro, like, don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to nothing about you or your girl. Like, y'all know nothing but drama, and y'all have issues. Like, at the end of the day, y'all have issues, and she needs to love herself a little more and not be putting herself in situations like that. Like, I'm serious. Like, you'll catch me fucking dead before I go and confront somebody over my dude. Like, if I'm not dumb. Like, I know when my dude's cheating on me, not my present, because he wouldn't. He better not. But I've been in those situations, and I knew every time I knew. Now, if I decided to ignore my gut, that was one thing. But I never went around bothering people. That's my thing. You know, you want to make a fool of yourself, do it in the fucking privacy of your own home. Don't take that shit to other people's houses. To top all this off, because I couldn't do anything about it, and I really didn't press on it because I was like, you know what, whatever, like, nothing happened. I let it go. It wasn't my business. You know, you want to be unhappy and miserable, you be that on your home. My husband, boyfriend at the time, showed me that he trusted me and that he loves me, and I was super, like, it was a very good moment for me, because not that happened, but I was like, ooh, you don't want explanations, nothing. He's just like, don't worry about it, babe. All right, I won't worry about it. Anyways, so I saw them months later, and they were holding hands. Because they went to my job. I worked at a different area of the hospital, and they passed by holding hands like, bitch, I don't care. That's all you. Those issues, them cheating issues, that, you know, not trust and whatever, that's all you, boo-boo. Keep it. Ew. No, shoot. But anyways, and I was like, I wanted to cuss them out so much, but I was on the clock. I think that angers me, that I was so sleepy and so out of it and groggy because I work nights. I had just worked the night before I was going to work that night, that I couldn't even say anything. I was just like, and then they left because obviously I wasn't the right person. I sound very angry because it annoys me. Like, it's the worst, like, the funniest, craziest, worst thing that's happened to me, because it really is a violation of my privacy. Like, somebody knocked on my door and they got my address from my job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm probably burning people at the hospital because they're like, oh my God. But people are stupid like this. Don't jeopardize your job for some dumb friend that can't trust their fucking cheating husband. So this is my St. Patrick's Day look. And that was my crazy story. That's like really the craziest thing that I can sober. The craziest sober thing that's ever happened to me. If y'all have any crazy stories, you can always share, comment, like, subscribe. As always, do your thing, people. Hope you liked. I like it.